Now, immediately at the bottom of the deck, you have, for me, looking at the Chariot, I do think it's about you needing to move on. I don't so much feel like it's about ending a situation, but I do think that with the Three of Pentacles being the overall and then looking at the Chariot, definitely moving possibly here to do something new. Now, after that, though, you do have the Page of Pentacles, which is, why I say that. So definitely starting something new here, but then needing to pick up speed on things that are happening, though, too. So now with the Three of Pentacles is the overall, right? Making something work, working with someone, or being more focused on your work. Because I see a cutoff in communication here, possibly with a person with the Emperor being there. But, it's also about control, right? Who has control here? Now, with the Knight of Wands, the past coming through, I do think that with the Three of Pentacles, it's about you getting up and getting after something that, you're wanting to work on here with the Three of Pentacles. But I look at this and I think, how can you get control or how can you get momentum here if there isn't a lot of action being taken? Now, that could be due to somebody else, though, in dealing with somebody else that you may be working with. There's not a whole lot of communication happening here. And I think that it causes you to stop wanting to give any more to the situation with the Four of Pentacles. Now, with the Two of Swords being your best path to follow, though, right, it's needing to make that difficult choice. You can't stay at the stalemate. You can't be inactive here. You can't choose to ignore a situation. I do think that it's about you needing to speak up and say something here. But then looking at justice as hopes and fears, right, it to me, this is like wanting somebody to be accountable here, especially if you're working with them. And then wanting things to be fair and balanced based on the choice that you need to make, whether or not to continue working with someone. Now, the problem, though, is with the Queen of Cups coming out. So this, to me, definitely could have to do with another person that you're dealing with. But, you guys know how I feel about court cards. Whoever it is that you're dealing with, there's still, emotional involvement with. But then there's also emotional attachment to what you're trying to work toward. I don't know. I don't get so much that you're looking at trying to make something work. I think the difficulty is working with someone right now. Because I'm still looking at you wanting somebody to be held accountable with justice. And is the choice that you're going to make, is it going to be the right choice for you, right? To stop giving to this, to not want to give anymore if, the other person isn't willing to open up and take the same action that you are, because you definitely come in with that. But I look at this and I think, there may still be an attachment to, someone or someone you're working with. But with the Four of Pentacles, I don't think that, for a lot of you, you're willing to give any more emotionally to this if you're dealing with somebody who is being stubborn and not communicating or not acting. But then I look at the Emperor in the Four of Swords, and I think it really is about, you needing to take control. But the only way that that's going to happen is if you start acting. And then the High Priestess, that to me is just you keeping your thoughts to yourself here when it comes to, dealing with someone or working with someone. I do think that it is about you paying attention to your instincts, though, for sure. And the way that you're feeling emotionally about the fact that you may be dealing with somebody who's not doing jack shit. It's like they're not doing anything here. Now, with the Magician, and looking at the Knight of Wands, this is really about you manifesting that cool ass shit, getting up and getting after it, making things happen, right? Making things work. But then I look at the Nine of Swords and I think about this and, the thoughts surrounding having to deal with this is like, there's not a lot of clarity. I mean, obviously here, because somebody's not opening up and communicating for some of you. With the High Priestess, it looks like, if you're talking about withholding with the Four of Pentacles, it's you definitely withholding the way that you're thinking about how you feel about a person here with the high priestess. I think this is everything that you're bottling up, and I look at this and I think, what's the point? That's what I'm getting from this. What is the point in even saying anything about how you are thinking about the fact that they're not doing anything? What's the point in trying to make something work if they're not willing to do the same amount? Because I look at the Three of Pentacles and, yeah, it can definitely be about work, but it's also collaboration, working with other people, right? Working with someone toward the common goal, right? Which is the Three of Pentacles. And you still looking at somebody needing to be held accountable for the fact that they're not doing anything. But yet at the same time, like wanting to have control over what is happening, and you moving to a point here where like you're done being, emotionally involved with this. You're not willing to give anymore. I look at justice and I think, there is an opportunity for things to be corrected, but that is your hope. I don't think that the high priestess is the wrong way to go. But then I also feel like, when you're looking at the high priestess, in terms of action, it's not about taking action. It's about watching and observing what somebody else is doing, right? And that may be where you're like, you're not giving anymore. You're done because of what you're seeing, and it's almost like you knew, though. You knew. I mean, your thoughts were right. You may have thought you were overthinking the situation, but I don't think that that's it. But I still see you needing to make a choice here to, stop giving into this, stop giving into someone who's not willing to do anything, because I still look at this and think accountability, but with the Magician, right? I don't think it's about manipulation. I don't think that that's it at all. I mean, yeah, you could absolutely be dealing with somebody who is, making you think in a certain way here, but really it's you being able to manifest what the hell you want, and you may not have to be involved with this person in order to do that anymore, right? But I'm not seeing an ending though either, because you're still like in this spot where you have to make the choice to do that, but they're not doing jack shit. And I don't think it's you. With the Knight of Wands coming through, that to me is the action that you have taken in the past, and you may be dealing with somebody that's constantly in and out, are you going to continue to give to this or not? And I don't, think that that's like the wrong thing there. Religious factors, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Now, that could just be, cultural differences between you and the person that you're with, but it could also suggest that, your spiritual path has led you to the right person. We'll see here. And then the Wheel. So that is good. That to me is, a positive change that's happening here with the Wheel of Fortune. That's not bad. But for those of you who are single, it looks like between the Nine of Swords and the Five of Cups, we're talking about you possibly getting back together with somebody, but are you willing to forgive and forget the past? When you look at the Nine of Swords, it is getting back together, but it's not like the Three of Cups in this deck where it's a happy reunion, the healing of heartbreak. This is like, a difficult situation. There are things that, again, have not been like worked out. I don't know. I look at this and I think the only way that your love life is going to ascend to a better level of commitment here is if you're willing to forgive the fact that things may have gone wrong in the past. Because otherwise you wouldn't be looking at a difficult reunion here with the Nine of Swords, because that is what that is about. It's about getting back together with somebody after being through a lot of pain, But they're not doing shit though, and that's the problem, right? Now, for those of you who are in a relationship and you're happy, it looks great with religious factors in the Wheel. This is an opportunity to get past, whatever differences there may be. But then I also see this as, the perfect opportunity here to be in a relationship where, your paths are kind of like aligned, so to speak. There may be like an age difference, which is one of the things that comes up with religious factors, but, the wheel is good. It's an opportunity for better things to happen, which is great. The singles is worried about here, especially with that Nine of Swords being a repeating thing. I mean, really, it's going to be up to you on whether or not you can forgive whatever may have happened before, because again, you wouldn't be looking at like trying to get back together with somebody and it being a really difficult thing had they not done something before, right? But, it may be that they're trying to push the relationship to a higher level, but do you feel comfortable with it? Because I still look at this and think, you know, are you okay with accepting the apology? Because still there's that difficulty that's there, right? But I still look at this and think that there's still emotional involvement here. It's just, I feel like the difficult choice here is to be done with this situation or with this person, or stop being the one who's continuously trying to make things work. I think would be the best way to put it between these two, especially with that Nine of Swords coming out there with the Queen of Cups, But there's no action, there's no communication, there's no nothing. I feel like you're the one doing all the work, but yet somebody else is wanting to have control over the way things happen, you know? But anyway, thank you so much, you guys. I hope that this reading helped. And again, right, they're general messages. It's not going to be for everybody, but I hope that it helps someone. Thank you so much. I love you guys. And remember, if you want the deck, just leave a comment saying, I want that deck. And I'll make sure to put your name in.